Want to see a real example of how our projecting of our insecurities on our children can ruin their experiences as kids and therefore ruin their lives altogether? This is a picture of me in first grade. Now, in first grade, I was told that I was overweight and I had to do my best to lose weight, or else I'll be obese, sick, and die of disease. And ever since that moment, ever since that time, I've spent the rest of my life, diet after diet, hole of shame after hole of shame, hoping, wishing that I could just be a better person so that I could be just as strong as everybody else, so that I could lose this weight, so that I could be worth something, and just praying, hoping, pleading that God might take me away, because I was so horrible for being fat. Now you can fast forward to my freshman, sophomore year of school. I looked like this: 260 pounds, still dieting, still talking down on myself, still feeling like I just don't deserve to experience life the way other people do. And none of those were my original thoughts. So now you look at me today, I'm looking back at these pictures and I am horrified because I'm like, wow, I really did spend majority of my childhood trying to lose weight when I was skinny. And because of all that shame and because of all these feelings of me being a failure and not being able to do it, I somehow ended up eating more. I don't remember being a child and ever really showing any appreciation for my body. I remember anything to do with my body, especially once puberty hit, it all just being absolute suffering. And all of my hobbies and skills kind of being buried under this blanket of shame and guilt, and feeling of unworthiness. And a lot of that has to do with how anti-black the health system is, especially around things like obesity, right? But it also has a lot to do with the fact that we have a culture that is so anti-children that once kids are born, they spend majority of their lives wanting to be in another stage of their life or wanting to be somebody else completely. And it continues on as they get older. And it has to do with the fact that we do not respect children enough to create a world where they feel like they are complete beings at that stage. Yes, kids are growing to be adults, but they don't lack beingness. So there is purpose to them being in that state, and they should be able to experience it and be completely there for it versus just wanting to be older, wanting to be this, wanting to look like this adult. There's value in being a child, but it's hard to feel that way when all the adults around you are saying things like, stay in a child's place. When you get older, you're not going to like this, or when you get older, you're going to like this, or you can't do this because you're older. How much of things in the society are set up for children to be able to be themselves and also discover themselves in that state without it being them trying to discover that so that they can be set for another time. But now as adults, so many of us are wanting to be something else, wanting to do something else, wanting to look this way, constantly wanting to be outside of themselves. And we haven't even been able to build the appreciation of being presently us in the current moment because we don't even know what that feels like. With that, I'll offer you two things to reflect on. One might be more extensive than the other. But one, outside of who you expect yourself to be, what do you appreciate about yourself currently? And for the second reflection, I want us to think about whether or not the things that we aspire to be are truly things that we want, or are they projections? Are we running away from perceptions? Are we afraid to look away, or is this truly something that we want? You deserve to have what you want.